All right, everybody, these are the lab instructions for the phase change lab. I need one person at your table to pull out their charged Chromebook and log in. I need a different person to pull out the hot plate. It should already be on your counter, but if not, it's in the bottom drawer. With your hot plate out, plug it in, pull it towards the edge of the counter, and turn it on to 500. While this is blinking, the hot plate is still heating up. With your hot plate preheating, return to your desk. A different person needs to come to this tote and grab two pieces of equipment. This is called a GoLink. We'll need one of these. And then this is called a temperature probe. We'll need one of these. So two pieces of equipment. Connect the GoLink to the temperature probe with this white piece here. You should be able to just push it in the correct direction and it should click when it's in. Connect the USB to a student's Chromebook. If plugged in correctly, you should see a light turn on here. On your Chromebook, you're gonna need to do a couple of things. You're gonna need to click on this circle and look for the application that looks like this. It's called Vernier Graphical Analysis. Click on it to open the application. It should look something like this. We need to change a couple settings on this application in order for it to work properly. So click on this button right here. It says mode time-based. Click that and it'll open up this screen. We need to change the end collection to not stop after 180 seconds, right? We don't want this to stop after 2 minutes. This is gonna take us a little longer than that. So we wanna change this to a manually instead of that duration. So hit manually and then click done. We should be ready to go now. Have one person go back to the hot plate and verify that this is no longer blinking. If this is a solid color like this, that means the hot plate itself is now 500 degrees Celsius and you are ready to start your lab at the station. Have one person at your table collect goggles from the goggle cabinet for everyone at your table. While they're doing that, have a different person grab a 150 milliliter beaker. Go to the ice bucket. Fill up your beaker about halfway with ice. Two people working together. Take your Chromebook, the GoLink, and the temperature probe all to the lab area. Be very careful of all of these cords. One person is going to need to hold the temperature probe inside of this beaker for about 15 minutes straight. So decide who's going to do that now. Before we start melting the ice, we want to get an initial temperature reading. So, on your computer, with the temperature probe inside of the beaker full of glass, hit collect. Now, if we try to just take the temperature of the ice without moving the thermometer, different pieces of ice are going to melt at different rates, and our temperature is going to spike up and down. To get a consistent reading, we need someone to stir while the thermometer is measuring the temperature. If done correctly, your data should be a flat line. With the beaker on the hot plate and the temperature consistent, we need to stir this ice consistently until it is all melted. Once all of the ice is melted, we can stop stirring. With the beaker on the hot plate and the ice melting, we need to consistently stir the whole time until all the ice is melted. As soon as you start seeing the ice melt, write that down on your lab paper. When all of your ice is melted, you can stop stirring, but you still need to hold the thermometer steady. We don't want this to accidentally fall or tip over and break and you to lose all your data. If you do it incorrectly and you don't stir consistently, you'll get these random spikes like I did, pausing and starting this video. If you are consistent with your stirring, you should have a flat line that goes back up here. Continue collecting data until you see this start to boil. As soon as you see the first bubbles starting to come out of this water, you need to write it down on your lab paper. Once your water is consistently boiling, continue measuring the temperature for about another minute and then stop your collection. I'm not going to show you my graph because it has the answer, but when you're done collecting your data, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to turn off the hot plate. We're going to take the thermometer out and lay it down. And we're going to take everything our Chromebook, the temperature probes. We're gonna take all of that back to our desks. You can save this by hitting the export button down here. It'll give you the option to save as a couple different things. The automatic one is to save as a PNG. That should work just fine for what we're doing. So go ahead and save this as a PNG. Make sure the name of your document is the name of you and your lab mates. That PNG we just saved is actually down here, ready for you to add to your lab write-up. So open up the lab write-up, add this, and you should be good to go. At the end of the period, we're gonna come back to the hot plate and see if this is still blinking red. This says that it's still hot. If we are, hopefully, done in a timely manner, this should not be blinking anymore. This should be cool to the touch, and we should be able to remove it and put everything away before we leave. And that's the Face Change Lab. Good job, everybody.